All right, welcome everybody. It's going to be a recap here for this Monday, the 13th of November. So if you were with us this morning during the morning broadcast, you know that we traded a few indices. Let's look at those. Start off here with the mini Russell. I had a short coming in on the mini Russell shortly after the opening. Ended up taking a short, almost hit target. I did have a target sitting down here. It did not hit target. This was an HF1, which I really like my HF1s. But sometimes I'll get a double HF1 back to back, and I like those. And so I ended up taking a loss on this first trade. Reversed on this HF1. I did add to my size on this, and then I added again 2 to 3 minutes later. The reason I did is because the other indices were very strong, and so I wanted to go ahead and take advantage of that initial burst up. Did see some nice buying coming in, and we did come up and hit that target, so I went ahead and exited on that. That was it for the mini Russell. Similar trade on the mini Nasdaq, but I didn't have the reversal. Let's look at that. All right, so this was a nice little trade on the mini Nasdaq, coming in short on a nice what we call pairing pattern short. Right around the opening, had a pretty sharp break here. Wasn't in this trade very long before he hit target. I did go ahead and once again, I'm getting out at target number one. Target number one was sitting down here around the 154.94 level. So took profit on that. That was it on the indices. Also did some stocks this morning. Let's take a look at the stocks. We are bringing in stocks again this week. And gold is starting to heat up, so we're going to be looking at gold as well. But let's take a look at what we did on the stocks. Okay, we'll start off with the loser trade that I had this morning. That was going to be on TIVC. I had a really good move in the morning prior to my entry, and then it pulled back a little bit. I did have a setup as an HF3 buy. Never really played itself out. Finally ended up getting stopped out here. Took a loss on TIVC. Sorry about that, TIVC. But I did pick it up on one of the AI stocks, and let's take a look at that. Alright, so on BTAI, first trade actually was a loser, and what happened on this is that I could see that it was coming down. We had some lower, shorter term targets. I didn't want to hold out to it, and like I mentioned in the trading room this morning in the Discord, that I was going to go ahead and get out and then come back in once I got another setup, and that's exactly what I did. So this first trade, HF1 buy, turned out to be a loss. I went ahead and got out and exited. But then we came back and we finally set up a nice little HF2 down here. That's when I went ahead and I entered on the HF2, and I did carry it up to a target that we had shortly, about an hour. What were we? We were in this trade 11, almost 2 hours, something like that. And finally did hit my target up here. And I didn't get close to my stop, so I had a nice little resting stop down here. Got to give it plenty of room on some of these trades. All right, don't be afraid to use a little bit bigger stop. All right, that's the problem. A lot of people, they have these really tight stops, and they keep getting stopped down. They don't catch these moves. So anyway, was able to catch this move. Took a profit on BTAI, and overall, not a bad day. Didn't do great on the indices. They just didn't have a lot of big movement going on, and I just wasn't trading very heavy. So we'll see what Tuesday offers. I'm not so sure I'm going to be trading very heavy tomorrow on the indices. We'll just have to wait and see what it looks like in the morning. Stocks, once again, like I said last week, they're starting to heat up again. TIVC was the one loser. Like I said, BTAI, I did start off with a loss, but I was able to come back and get back into it on that HF2 and regain those wins. TBST, INVL, and ALXO were all pretty much scalpers. INVO, that came in shortly after TPST and BTAI. ALXO, that was an afternoon trade right before power hour, and that was basically just a little scalp on ALXO. All right, that's it, folks. We'll wrap this up. We'll hit it again in the morning. Be sure to join us. Once again, if you're in the room and you have questions during that first 30 minutes, ask your questions. Also, feel free to ask me anything about if you want me to take a look at any stock or whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything. I'll be glad to take a look at it as long as I have a symbol for it. And I'll let you know what I'm seeing And so you'll see that these patterns can be applied to anything that you trade. All right. And so if there's a particular stock that you're interested in, and things have been pretty slow in the morning, so feel free to ask myself, put it in chat, moderator. Glenn will let me know, and I'll run it against my patterns, and we'll see if we have something setting up. So be glad to do that because it's been very quiet in the morning. So I haven't really been that busy right now. So things are really slow right now going into the opening bell. So we'll see if that starts to pick up. But right now, I'm going to be a little cautious, not go too heavy. If things pick up after the opening bell, then I'll probably get a little bit more aggressive. But right now, the idea is I will take initial positions, go light, and then if things start to heat up, either add to my positions or get out and then get a little bit more aggressive in the next setup. All right, that's it. Everybody have a good night.